Just in case y'all didn't see it. we got some new merch, y'all. We got some new merch.
We got new merch. Will, where can I get it from? I'm just saying, where can I get it?
It's at rocktruth2.com. Rocktruth2.com. One more time. Rocktruth2.com.
Well, you too can rocktruth2.com. That is. Let me see that show one more time. What do it say?
It says Christ died to destroy the spirit of independence.
Absolutely.
Repent. This is the most important part. Repent.
Yes.
Declare your independence today. They go to verse. This looks so awkward. Like I'm scared to stand up because I may not have no pants on.
You are so silly. You are so silly. We all. Good evening, and welcome to Rock Truth Radio. I am your host, Selena K, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth to absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Truth is founded on He who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. Rock Truth Radio is a cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crises of today. Rock Truth is designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had that impacts, affects, and infects generationally. Rock Truth Radio seeks to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. It is indeed a kingdom renaissance. Welcome, fellow truthers. How are we?
Yay.
How are we today?
What's going on? Man, you look like you're in a bunker, man.
Hi,
you in a bunker?
Yo, where you coming from? You all right?
Is everything okay?
I'm always in the bunker. I'm always in the bunker.
You all right?
No. Is it something we need to know? Is it?
No, I'm at home.
Is it the end?
It's always the end. It's always the end for me. You know what I'm saying?
Why, King? Why is it always the end?
I mean, that's just what I do. I mean, I'm going on my COVID strike for my hair, so that's why I'm looking crazy.
Oh, okay.
Like, they not used to see me like this, but no, I mean, like I said, this is my little pad, my little office, and so I'm always in the bunker.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the way that ceiling looked, man. It looked like he was in a silo bunker. I'm like, oh man. It is going down.
It is really going down. It is definitely going down today. Oh gosh, I promise you guys, we will work through some of the craziest
technical difficulties.
And when I tell you, he will provide a ram in the bush. We find ways. We will get this message out here. Do you understand? We will rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. However, you can share and subscribe on our Rock Truth Radio YouTube page. However, we had to go a little incognito today.
Yeah. But we're still getting it.
We still getting it. I know that's right. Welcome back. We are so happy to have you back, Mr. Amari Wakefield. How are you today?
Man, I'm good. I just got done working out, so I'm feeling good.
Where you work at?
Good.
I go to the that's what I live by the track, so I do my stuff manually. I go to the track, run a couple miles, do some stairs. I did some agility work today and some core stuff. So no, I try to get like squeeze in 40 minutes when time allows, because I stay right across me from the school, the high school.
When time allows. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I've been doing some workout too. Shout out to the holistic jerks. We a jerk. We a jerk. I'm telling you, like they are so super de duper dope, and their workout is just the bomb diggity at the beach, Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays at Roosevelt High School.
That's all for y'all.
Yeah.
That's for y'all young bucks. I can't do it.
Why not? Because you was don't get me started, Will. You were actually supposed to join us.
Mm-hmm. I've already done that workout. So
what you mean?
There's no need for me to do that again.
You didn't do that one. You didn't do that one in particular. No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that one. Yeah.
You didn't do it with us. You didn't do it with us as Rock Truth though.
Right. But I've done it. That doesn't stop the fact that I haven't done it.
You know what? We're gonna get right back into. Mr. Amari Wakefield and 16 shots, which we could like skim just part of the surface on last week. I mean, like you said, it's so much there to just unpack. And my question to you, brother, is what would you like to pick up today?
Well, we're like I was just watching a little bit more of it just to like to regroup, and so one of the parts that really caught my eye because I haven't seen it, and then I saw it again just now, and what was prevalent to me was at the end, right at the end, right, and so when he was convicted and everything, it was a couple statements that were made. One, and I'll just walk you through it because I got a timeline. And so, remember when they had the McElliott officer who was on trial? Well, he was testifying, and he was testifying that he saw Laquan walking down the street, and he said that he didn't pose a threat to him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
The part that really blew my mind was so just stay right there. You had the guy who was the president of the FOP. That's what his name was, Dean.
Yeah.
He says
that exactly what you're talking about.
He says that back in my day, that he would have never made it past Pulaski.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. And so, but I want to focus on that and FOP. So when you think about the Fraternal Order of Police, you think about a union, right? And so especially when and I like to talk about like back home in Gary, Indiana. And so I would advise you to really look at the Fraternal Order of Police in your area. Yeah. Because one of the things that when he said that, but now he's the former Fraternal Order Police, right? So he he already served his term. But so I looking, and so if you think about some of the police officers that are on the force, they are aligning themselves with some of the people who are on that union board, right? The executive board. And so if you're listening, please Google the Fraternal Order Police back home. And you see a list of names on there, right? And you see certain police officers who are palling around with those same people. Wow. Right? That are on that executive board. That's their best friends that they're taking pictures with and all this and all that. Yes. Right? Yes. And so these are, and this is why I feel the way I feel about Black police officers. Because you can't sit there and say, hey, I'm for the people, right? Because you can't say, oh, I love to give back to my community. But then when we look at who you are on your social profiles or just how you conduct your life in your everyday life, you are aligning yourselves with the unions that are oppressing our people. Yeah. And so when you tie back into what this guy was saying, and he didn't outright say it, but he basically said he probably would have just took care of McDonald right then and there.
You know what?
That's what he basically said.
I would agree.
And so that was one thing that stood out to me. Another thing was that when the trial was going on, and you had the attorney for Jason Van Dyke, one of some of the things that he said, like, well, first of all, they had a motion that was granted to them where they had they couldn't use the word victim in relating, and speaking about Laquan McDonald. So think about that. You petitioned the court so you can have verbiage to not refer to the person who died and lost his life as a victim.
Right.
And I get that because he actually wasn't on trial. It was actually the police officer. So it's just lingo, lawyer lingo. But what blew my mind was that some of the buzzwords and descriptive terms that he used.
Mm-hmm.
He used suburb, was referring to Officer Bedite. He's from the suburbs,
mm-hmm.
from a non-diverse area, and
right.
he and he's basically working in a violent city.
Right.
And then the whole thing that he masked it with was the reality of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I think that's the issue, because if you go back to suburbs, there's not a lot of us in the suburbs, right? There's not a lot of us in the suburbs, not a lot of us, and like when they use not just diverse, that means basically no black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he basically telling you what his mindset, meaning I don't see black people like that.
Right.
And so when I come into contact with one,
I don't know what
I have a reality of fear.
Yeah.
Right.
That's astonishing because
mm-hmm.
you are getting paid to police these areas.
Yeah.
That are our communities.
His responsibility is to overcome fear, right?
Yes.
That's his whole. That's all the training is all about. When you become a police officer, they train you to overcome and subdue your what's the word for it? Your own emotion,
right?
And, and do your job to try to be why can't I get the words that I want to say today? To try to quell the situation, to bring it down, to de-escalate. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. At least that's what you're supposed to do. But just like he said that if it was him, he would have never made it to mm-hmm. whatever the name of that street was. Mm-hmm. Just for a second, guys, I want to definitely pause and intro in and welcome in Ivo, the Grand Duke. Welcome to the show, Ivo.
What's happening?
What's going on? We are so happy to have you on with us.
Well, what is the Skadoozly Wops Ground Rounds? How y'all feeling today?
What's going on, buddy?
Good.
Scooby Wop Bow Wow.
I say, what's the Skadoozly Wops Ground Rounds?
I'm
enjoying the dialogue because when you just send me this link to get in, I'm about 20 more minutes to the end of 16 shots.
Wow.
And I'm glad you sent it to me when you did, because I was able to keep up with what Brother Gene, that's what I know about what Eugene was saying. I was able to keep up with it. So I'm definitely enjoying the dialogue right now.
Yeah.
Well, definitely join in, jump in, and tell us, what did you think so far? Like, this is first impression. We've watched it a few times. So what did you think?
Honestly, to touch on what Eugene said, with the guy being from the suburbs, why would you even put him in a predicament to try to learn his way to suppress his mm-hmm. emotions and get over his fear in the jungle? That don't make sense to me, man. You know what I'm gonna tell you? As working in law enforcement myself, I was a correctional officer at Westville, mm-hmm. the biggest prison in Indiana, mm-hmm. and I did 10 years in the military. I did a year and a half overseas in Iraq. So these are law enforcement agencies. You understand, like the Department of Justice and the United States military. Mm-hmm. It comes a point in time where morality has to kick in somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Where you have to say, no, that you know better than that. I mean, it's simple terms. We don't have to duck and dodge and read between the lines and come up out of the bushes. You just have to say, that ain't right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna give you a quick example. We had Turkish and Kurdish people working on our base. They call it a FOB, forward operating base. And I was the black and mild freaking king, because I freak my blacks. I take the paper all the way out and then put the tobacco back.
Oh,
you feel me? You feel me?
Oh,
so, anyway, the Turks who worked in the DVD shops, they sold us DVDs. They worked on. They did a lot of what the civilians would do as far as providing amenities for the soldiers. So I was at the phone booth one night. I called home every 3 months. I was at the phone booth one night with a battle buddy of mine. This was a white guy. Now, he carrying a crew serve weapon. It's a 249, just a big joint. I'm carrying my regular weapon.
Wow.
This guy knows me. This Turkish guy, he knows me.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to me for a Black and Mild. I'm smoking one. He's like, let me get that one. I said, no. Y'all don't give us DVDs for free. But I told him no. And it wasn't nothing ignorant. But he didn't have none for me to freak for him because I did them for the Turkish people too. I was the king at this on this fob. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
So ultimately what ended up happening is it was an altercation. As me and my white battle buddy was walking off, the guy pulled out look, you remember the old red switchblade looking knives? What is it called, man? The little bitty knives, the little camp knives.
A Swiss Army knife?
That's what he pulled out. Got the cork on the back of it.
Yeah.
That thing was about this big here. You hear me? He pulled that knife out. Now, when you walk around on base, you can't have no rounds in your weapon. You can't even have a clip in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because hey, mishaps have happened.
Yeah.
We both got weapons. We both fully loaded, but we still on base.
Right.
Yeah.
First thing the white boy wanted to do was load up this crew serve weapon and kill him.
Man.
I said, bro, hold up.
Yeah.
I put a couple food fops on him, real, grabbed him up. He wasn't even bleeding. He wasn't swole up or nothing, but I subdued him. I walked him all the way from our phone booth, all the way over to Charlie Company top command.
Yes.
Sat him in a chair, called my captain, called my first sergeant, and we got him up off the base. The man was alive. The man didn't have a black eye. He ain't have a busted lip. He ain't have a broken rib. The man didn't have a broken arm, a sprained ankle, nothing.
Right.
You know what that man said to me before he left? That man said, I thought you was gonna kill me. He was like, at least I get a chance to go home and tell this story to my wife and let them know what I done.
Hey,
ain't no way, brother. Ain't no way this supposed to be happening.
Where you live at, Ava? Where you live at?
I'm on Fort Stewart in Georgia. In the city of Hinesville.
I just want to know so I know to never go by your street ever.
We don't get the details. We got to make sure. He said corner or something. We got to make sure. Corner.
Which corner you on? I ain't going by that no time soon.
But you know what though? It's crazy because let me ask you a question. I asked the MP this, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Name me one incident where you heard a military police officer killed anybody in America.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of an MP which they police I'm in a city called Fort Stewart. This thing got McDonald's and Burger King and grocery stores on it. It's inside of another city. Yeah. You know that there are hundreds of thousands of bases across America where military police are the only police that can police inside of the confines of those bases, which are city sizes, which have drunk and high soldiers, black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever persuasion you are. When have you heard of one case of a military police officer even shooting a suspect? And listen, these guys come home with PTSD. They beat their wives. Somebody died on this base. A wife died on this base. Have you ever heard of one instance where military police discharged his weapon on any civilian or any military person? Anybody? You ain't never heard.
I haven't.
You know why? That's all they do. And that's what the military do. But the MP told me all day, they reading this book and they practicing how to de-escalate a situation.
Wow.
They said if you pull out a gun, that's the fight. That's your last resort.
Resort.
You're liable to get rolled up and go to jail.
Come on.
I told you, y'all need to come out here and teach these people out here. He said, you know what? They've been talking about it and discussing it, but just as well as we don't want the military to police our streets, the police don't want the military to police them. But it's going to come a point in time, everybody thinks that it's going to shake a different way against us. Oh, it's going to be, everybody going to be surprised what's going to happen. It's going to come a point in time where people are sick and tired of what's going on. Look, you got these military personnel, they families out there being subjected to this mess. The table's going to turn so crazy. And everybody going to be like, what? I didn't expect that to happen. Just watch.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank you for your service, brother, because I mean, to come back home to risk your life, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, like just now, we don't even know what that is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for you to come home, I salute you, brother. And so we appreciate you for your service.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's crazy. Like I'll be out with my daughter and we'll be like eating somewhere, and every time I see, especially a black military person, somebody who served in either arms of the military, and they, of course they'll be like, wow, you know what I mean? Because they usually get that from our white counterparts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, for someone of that same demographic to speak to them and appreciate them, that it catch them by surprise. So I always do that. So, but like
gratitude.
Yeah.
Back to this, like, I mean, and then what really, like, and I'm to be a spoiler alert, like you're gonna see at the end, the dude only got sentenced to 6.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so, like, that's what's disappointing when you watch something like this, because we get the conviction, and then it goes back to voting. I get that, but then people will say vote, 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 and then you had a black juror who said, "Why? I feel betrayed because I helped serve justice in this instance, and I feel betrayed because he only got sentenced to 6.5 years, and actually he's going to do 3.5.
They're going to do 3 in brother.
And so think about that. So you didn't murdered this man. I'm gonna call him a man. Shot him 16 times in the back.
Yeah.
Turned away, and I don't know if you have dealt with loss in your family, but I have. My brother close. He's close to me. So there's no equivalency to quelling that feeling, that emotion, right? Because you're like, he ain't never coming back.
Right.
But 3.5 years?
Right.
3.5 years.
That's absurd.
And actually, when was that he got sentenced?
That was 2015?
16?
16, right?
So he'll be getting, and I just Googled.
He'll be getting out. He getting out.
Yeah, but and they were saying that he was moving around. They was moving around because people was beating him up. You know what I'm saying? He was getting beat up in the prison, so they moving him around.
Of course.
Yes, his family don't even know where he at. You know what I'm saying?
And see, I was gonna speak on that and say they knew what he was gonna be in now.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what though, I think he just barely missed it, because I want to say it was and don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
When they finally said that all violent offenses would do 85% of your time. Because if he caught that, he'd have been doing 5.5.
Right.
Come on.
Easy. Ain't no day for day. You 85%, man.
Right. Do it right.
He was doing 5.525.
Right.
Hey, I had to do the math on it. I said 6.5 times 85%. Yeah,
right.
5.525.
Right.
And it's like watching this too, because again, you got to think about these officials who are in these places. And again, I understand, like, especially with yourself, you guys put your lives on the line, right? And the ones who are policing each other and doing it, doing the right thing, moving the right way, salute. But then you got people like this guy, like the McCarthy guy, right?
Yeah.
And he starts out the movie and he says, starts out the documentary. He says, what he said, his family's been in police since 1947. So if you just do the math, right? So it's 2020. So that's about 70, because 1950, 73 years, right? Police has been in his family. Don't you think that it would have been like, okay, if you are a piece of crap, piece of bleep, and your so your father was doing this, I'm pretty sure they was all doing the same, practicing the same tactics you are, and so he was proud of that, right? But then remember, Rahm Emanuel demanded him to resign, and then so at the end of the documentary, he says he's going to run for mayor, and so he says policing that there's an attack on police everywhere, and still making some blasphemous statements. Right. It makes you think about white supremacy, because name one black person who can get fired from a position like that and then have the backing. He didn't get elected because life was the mayor, but to have the audacity to run for mayor,
right?
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
That's pretty bold. That's pretty bold.
It's great to be surrounded by great men, in my opinion. So kings, I love my kings. promise. I honor you guys. I believe that you guys are, God's image. I really do. Not that it takes anything away from a woman. I'm just stating facts about who you are. This ain't got nothing to do with me. This got everything to do with you. And so my kings, like, you guys are the reason. Like, we can't be here without seed. Like, we need seed.
How important?
Significantly important.
And you know what? And see, I think that same way in a whole universal standard, because I feel the exact same sentiments. And then when I look at the woman, I say, well, there's the earth. If the earth ain't there, if the earth ain't provided for you to make something out of yourself, or if the earth ain't producing fruit for you, which is your support and recognizing your standards in life, how can you walk through here, period, if you can't reproduce anything to keep yourself going? Don't the woman got a reproductive system? Every year, the trees are birthed with something. Every year, the ground is birthed with something and produces something. That's why they call her Mother Earth. So when someone call me a queen, I look at her like she the earth.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
That's
we gotta
all.
learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? And see, I remember I forgot you posted something, I forget what it was. It was about love though. And that hit me right here because I was like, you know what? I said, that's real. You know what I'm saying? I said, because you can't move people around in the direction without love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you was like, I love you, black man. You know what I'm saying? That's that. So some of the things that you speak about, bro, I'll be listening. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, don't think people not. And I'm pretty sure you know this. People pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody going through something. You know what I'm saying? It's just different levels. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, when you that hit, I remember I was walking through school and I said, damn, that like hit me. I was just like, damn, that's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So salute, bro.
Salute. I'm telling you, when I heard this song, I felt like that. I felt like finally, this is every emotion I'm feeling. I'm getting a little bit fed up. You know what I'm saying? With the killings, like, why can't y'all see us? And I know it's because you don't want to. I know the choice, but I'm just saying, can you hear these names? Can you put your name in that place? Because your name can be there too, Becky. It can be right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're doing is firing up, the wrong generation because they don't care.
Right. Keep going. I'll stop you when you're wrong. I'll stop you when you're wrong. Keep going.
And this generation,
keep going.
They do not play.
They don't care. They don't care. Oh my God, they don't care.
They got zero patience.
Listen,
that just actually woke me up to something too. When you just said that about this generation, we get upset with them pretty fast now because it's more and more of them that just really don't care. But God got a funny way of allowing things to happen for certain particular reasons. God is he's the ultimate chess player.
Yes, he is.
Right.
And God, he's still in control. These kids nowadays ain't wild and animals and gorillas for no reason.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, I'm not finna go out there and stand in front of no bullet like this here.
Right. not me.
I know I'm not.
A partner of mine told me, he said, back in our time, we was the drug dealers. They are the drug users.
Yeah.
No, he don't. Guys, it was one more video we were watching. I know, I'm telling you, we probably just have to do another one. I'm telling you, this topic is just hot. But we were looking at White Mike Smith from Jacksonville, and he brought up a very compelling point. And I just wrote down a question, so that we can kind of like brush over it a little bit. But he said, how come when you turn on the radio in your city here, you can be wherever, the only people on the radio that talk about how great it is to kill each other are black people? He said, where are the white killers? Why don't they exist? And why is it that these are the lies that black people are killers and should glorify, shooting each other and shooting, period. These are the lies that are told about black people, and they're also told to black people. Very deep. Very deep. Why do we think?
I think it's a couple of things though. I mean, you got industry because you got people who are making these marketing deals to market that stuff, that type of behavior. So that's like a whole nother conversation. I'm just talking about I'm you know what I mean? Because as you know, the music industry, sex sells, violence sells, exploitation sells, sexism, all that stuff sells. So that's a whole nother conversation, right? Because you got white people that's in the room making these decisions, and because they're not gonna put comment on the video on the radio, they're not gonna put Twilight Quality on the radio, they're not you know what I mean, like, so like that's what I'm saying. So that's a whole nother conversation. We got to go back to loving ourselves, because if you love yourself, you wouldn't talk like that. You get what I'm, if that makes sense? Because for me, like, and I'm always using myself in this as an example, right? So when I started learning more about my history and where I came from, and who I was, and as far as generations, and how we came out of slavery, and then the different people who were icons, and who were the people who were not recognized, like Claudette Colvin, people like that. It made me appreciate my life more, and it made me appreciate everyone else's faces.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When people see me, they think that because I rant, I rant. But that's not how I'm actually always in the. I remember one time, I'll never forget. I walked into work one day, Christian woman, and just give you an example, black woman. She was like, she had to be 51. She said, "Every time I see you, you always in a good mood." And I was like, it just, I'm like, well, when I asked, I said, why shouldn't I be in a good mood? She's like, well, you got this racism over here. And I said, and she just went on for about 5 minutes. And I said, sister, I was like, you worship Jesus, don't you? Right? I said, now that's just, I said, now we just want to, I said, the reason I'm always in a good mood, because I know who I am. I love my people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, like, I don't like, what I don't understand is people, like, they'll get upset because you love your people, you don't have to hate. No, I don't have to hate your people. I just love my people.
Right.
I love my culture. I love the different shades we come in, different sizes, different flavor. I love different hairstyles. Different dress code. Like, I love all of us. Some of us a little crazy, but that's just who we are, right? We flavorful people, and so I think it always goes back to that, and being able to get around like-minded people, so you can understand, or then get around people who don't think like you, so you can start appreciating your differences, because a lot of that hatred that's been ingrained in us. We've been ingrained to hate the next man because of he got a better job or promotion, he make more money than you, or he got a better car than you, or he live in a different. I hate that. And I try to move away from that. And so I think it's just, for me personally, my opinion, I think that's just a lack of love for self.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually just go. I'm so sorry, and you're gonna go right next, Ivan. I'm gonna definitely agree with you on that. And just like you were saying about, woman, you believe in Jesus, so that even in that realm, you know yourself and your identity in the flesh. But we have so many people who don't know who they are and to whom they belong in the spirit, and that you're gonna find the same issues that are occurring when you don't know who you are in the flesh. And so, no, you're not going to have joy. You're going to have at best happenstance or happiness. And that just means the things going around you are well according to your liking. And that's still not you having joy all the time, no matter what. And so, yes, identity crisis. We are in the midst of the biggest identity crisis in the flesh and in the spirit ever known to man. And this is our time as Black people to get that right. Educate yourself. Go back and re-add kingdom law, re-add Black history, re-add your history. You know what I'm saying? And not their story, because that's exactly what's happening. Go ahead, Avo.
I'm glad. Hey, listen, y'all didn't put it all the way together. I'm gonna do like that brother said and bring from a different perspective.
Go ahead.
See, now that brother asked, he said, "Why is it when you cut your radio on, it's our people and not the white folk, right?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because it ain't true. Ain't no white folk, ain't no young white boys out here killing Black folk. Because if it was, it'd have been a race war. Because another reason why they ain't all over the radio saying it, they can't say the N-word. I dare one of them. Listen, if first of all, if you gonna make it to the radio, you gotta have a couple N-words in there. You gotta be super tough. That's not the case. That's not the case in the hood. It's false. It's untrue. You won't have no supporters with all that lying.
Right.
You ain't whack nobody. So stop lying. Another reason why it's happening the other way. Sometimes this is how it started out. We are just expressing what we have already witnessed and what we have already seen or been through ourselves, and we expressing ourselves. See, what's America's favorite? What's America's favorite treat? American pie, right?
Right.
Listen, black folk, we don't do pie. We do cake.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all wanna know where I'm going with this? Y'all wanna know where I'm going with this? Black folk don't do pie. We do cake. It's always see. This is why they don't understand us, because they like pie. Pie means perception is everything. That's what pie means.
I heard that before. Yep.
Perception is everything. But see, often what you perceive to be is not true.
Come on.
Listen, we like cake. We like to consciously act kingly and enlightened. That brother just got through talking about an identity crisis. We like to open-minded, consciously act like kings and act like we woke and enlightened when actually we're not even walking in what our spirit tells us to walk in. You feel me? We like cake. We don't like pie. You feel me?
King.
Man.
Y'all killed that. Y'all hit that. See, black folk like cake. We don't like pie. We like cake.
Man,
right out the park.
You know, see. Now, once we start to do what that brother Shirt saying, repent, then God will reveal to us through our third eye what's actually going on.
Teach.
You feel me? He'll tell us. He'll show us what's going on. And then you stop. See, when you eat too much sugar, you get sick, don't you?
Yep.
High blood pressure, diabetes, that will kill you, won't it?
Yeah.
A lot of folks got mental diabetes and mental high blood pressure from all that pie and all that cake, from all that perceiving things wrong and consciously trying to act like you're a king who's enlightened. And if you are, why are you always the first one to see? I'm hitting everybody. I'm hitting both sides. I ain't just gonna blame them. I ain't just gonna blame one side and don't tell where the other one's messing up at. You know what I'm saying? Once we start repenting, and once we start educating ourselves, then we can actually be kingly and enlightened. And then their perception won't matter because we won't be doing the things that they perceive in us to do. Come on now, somebody talk to me.
Thank you guys. Blessings. Thank you so much. Shout out. Say goodbye, everybody. Any final remarks before we off the live?
Nope. Just love y'all, man. I love y'all spaces. I love this venue, this platform. Keep doing your thing. All love this way. Enjoy your weekend.
Go to that rocktruth2.com and get that shirt King got on right now.
I need to get one. Yeah, I told her I got
Hey, hold on. Shout out. Hey, my fault. Shout out to Ear Hustling Entertainment. I had to put my little plug in. I'm the co-host over there.
No problem.
Much love to Rock Truth.
Go ahead. Right on.
Say it one more time because it messed up. You said Ear Hustling Entertainment?
Ear Hustling Entertainment.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Shout out Ear Hustling Entertainment. Y'all dope. Who was it that made that beat too? That from your boy.
Otis McDonald made those two, the Black Lives Matter and the Black Queens, and Brian Murphy Bay made the one to I'm About to Go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no shout out. Yo guys, Kings, thank you so much. I again, blessings to you both for being on here. I know Mauro had to go. Oh, blessings to you both. I love y'all. Right. Have a great weekend, y'all. Thank you. We also have some events going on around us at Miller Beach on September 19th. Join us. We are in partnership with the Holistic Jerks. We're in partnership with CKW Sports. We are also in partnership with Anthem, right? Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we will be doing a Yoga with the Youth event from 10 to 12 September 19th. Please contact Carl Weatherspoon. I'll put the details in the video later. Carl Weatherspoon for information regarding it. Come out, bring the children. Let's have a great time. We got to celebrate something in 2020. We have to celebrate life, definitely. So let's get ready. We're going to go into our commercial break, but this is like a special commercial break because we have been given some footage, some music by Ivo. We thank you so much for donating. You want to go ahead and tell us about the Black Lives Matter song that you created?
The Black Lives Matter song came out of Pain and Hurt for Sandra Bland. I let it ride.
All right, guys, we go ahead and mute for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go and bring in our song, man. It's dope.
Dope, bro. That's dope.
No doubt. Hey, it's your boy out with a Grand Duke. This is a public service announcement. America really needs a christening, you understand me? Don't go out here and become what you're trying to fight against. Rest in peace to all that's lost. Much respect to the ones that still stand. But it's time for somebody else to take a stand. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get it. You might not feel like Black Lives Matter, but you best believe it do. You might not feel like Black Lives Matter, but you better believe me it do. To you it may not matter, but to me it do. To you it may not matter, but when it comes to me it do. What is my life if I can't live it the way I want it? Long as I ain't disrupting no one else and being destructive. Why is my melanin the blessing, the curse, and the same? The system called us, then they fought us for doing the same thing that they do daily. Attention to details of us. It be genocide when Black pride decide to get up. Willie Lynch is still alive. My people, open your eyes. Maybe we should be like Rambo, put Sambo aside. You might not feel like Black Lives Matter, but you best believe it do. You might not feel like Black Lives Matter, but you better believe me it do. You may not feel like Black Lives Matter, but to me it do. You may not feel like Black Lives Matter, but when it comes to me, it do. That's just my point of view. Imagine if the police killed
you. Very, 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 very controversial.
It's what they don't want to see.
Nope, they sure don't.
Questions in reference to, the premise behind this one. Come on.
This is a public service announcement.
Yeah, that was cold, bro.
Yeah.
I heard that, yeah.
That you're not being treated worthy. I'm about to go Mike Brown.
What?
I'm about to go Trayvon Martin. I'm about to go beyond the tape. Gone. I'm about to go Freddie Gray. I'm about to go out Sterling, Philando, Castillo. Because I feel like I ain't treated worthy. I'm about to go Trayvon Martin. I'm about to go Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Eric Gone.
What?
I'm about to go Freddie Gray. I'm about to go out Sterling, Philando, Castillo, Tamir Rice, because I feel like I'm not treated worthy. I'm about to go Mike Brown.
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
That was funky.
And it's saying I'm about to go that crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go maniac Mike Brown, because that's how I felt like a maniac when they killed him. This how, you know what I mean? That's how crazy I'm finna go on this song about facts. They're gonna have to Google what I'm talking about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I love that. I love that about facts. Like, because that's exactly what we're all about. We're about rock and truth. We're about the facts of a matter. We don't care about nothing else. All that extra stuff that y'all trying to get us caught up in, divide us with, we're not interested in. We are about the facts of the matter. You know?
Exactly right. And you know what? The main thing that I'm gonna focus on, which it's easy for me to do this, but I write edited now. I need this on the radio. I need this on the airwaves, so they can't say, "Oh, you cussing in," and not a one cuss word in there.
Yeah. Right.
Not a one cuss word. But I'm talking about when I write these verses that's gonna go up in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't not a one cuss word going in there. It's going down.
Realize that as brothers, we can't make it without the sisters. You know what I'm saying? We got to get this together. So I'm gonna get this message out to my sisters.
Now it's about time that the Nubian man gon' pick up the slack from all the way back to the first hiccup. The very first time we divided from my sister, started breaking us down to the point we couldn't get up. Don't you got a mama, a granny, or an auntie? Maybe got a daughter and a cousin is your little niece, girlfriend, wife, fiance, or a best friend, or just somebody you knew grew up on the West End. Whatever case is, time to face facts, take our place back, run the city like Puffy.
Yeah, we getting out of here. We thank you for joining us. Rocking Truth with us are absolutely nothing at all. Don't forget to tune in next week, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time, where we will have the truth. We may have to bring back tomorrow. Hey, Ivo, the grand dude. We thank you for joining us. To next week. Subscribe, share, like, tweet, Twitter, whatever. Shout out to the rest of the Rock Truthers. Hey,
Yay.
queens, and definitely to my kings. Shout out. Happy birthday to my twin sisters, Benita and Janice. Everybody in August 1st. Let me shout out to them Leos. We clear y'all.
I love those images, bro, in that video.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
that's dope.
I'm
It's
on one.
dope, ain't it?
Hey, when National Geographic on them, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Those videos.
Oh yeah. Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I already know, and I'm pretty sure you sit back like, man, hold on, like he ain't coming off like this, but y'all killing him. You know, y'all trying to kill him. They trying to come for you. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're talking about.
This dope. I love how this ends. I love this. I love it.
That's dope, bro. You produce.
Look at my Angelo, baby. Look at my Angelo.
Yeah, I know Maya and Asada.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Asada.